thank you so much for your time taking this interview.
Thanks for letting me be on here.
What inspired you to write Spider-Man Animals Assemble?
Oh, well, the publisher, Abrams Books, came to me. They thought I'd be a good fit to draw a Spider-Man comic. I draw a lot of superheroes. I love superheroes, and I post a lot of superhero art online. So they thought I'd be maybe a good fit to tackle Spider-Man teaming up with a lot of different superheroes, which was sort of the idea behind the book is having the Avengers show up and introducing young readers to those characters. So that was sort of the kind of how the book came about. But the inspiration for the story came when I created Mark the Pigeon, there's this pigeon that
Yeah.
Spider-Man sort of talks to and befriends. And just by creating the pigeon, we had this idea of a lot more animals and pets showing up within the story. And then it became the Avengers pets, so then Spider-Man pet sitting for those
Mhm.
Avengers.
Yeah, and then
So it
he
was just a
became
fun way to
on
get
a
to know
mission to
the
get
story.
pizza.
Yes, yes, and to get pizza. Exactly. That
Yeah,
was like the
yeah,
side quest in the story is the pizza
yeah.
quest.
I found that the most funny. So what inspired you to become a writer?
I love telling stories. I love reading comics. When I was very young, I used to read the newspaper comics, the Sunday Funnies, and I loved them so much that I would just sort of copy them, redraw those, and I thought maybe that's what I would want to do for a career one day. I didn't end up doing exactly that, but I knew I wanted to get into comics. So I just sort of pursued that, and I kept practicing drawing. I had so much fun doing it. I had so much fun telling stories that it just kind of came a natural way for me to I don't know, just enjoy enjoy having a job, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah. So how'd you come up with the title?
Animals Assemble.
Mhm.
That came about. We were trying to find sort of the central idea of the story, the publisher and I. And I think originally it was just going to be Pets Assemble because he was assembling all the pets towards the end of the story. But then Animals Assemble had a nice alliteration to it
Yeah.
with the A and the A. And also made it real easy for books going forward to always kind of keep with that alliteration, which is a very Stan Lee Marvel thing as well. If you look at a lot of old like the Marvel books, a lot of the characters have
Yeah.
similar sounding names, and that's just a very Marvel-y thing to do. So that's how that came about. Mhm.
Yeah, I like alliteration a lot, and sometimes during my free time, I come up with alliteration poems, I call them.
Oh, nice.
I've
Are you
been
gonna
trying
read
to
one
find
for me?
another name for poems to make alliteration poems and alliteration, but I haven't found one yet. So I really liked all the drawings and the the pets and all the animals. I didn't even know, like, did you make up all the pets or were they like I don't know, were they like already made behind the scenes?
A lot of them were already established in the Marvel comics. Like Chewie is Captain Marvel's pet cat in the comics. His name is Goose in the movies, but in the comics, he's named after Chewbacca, I think. So she named him Chewie. And like Lockjaw was sort of a established character. A lot of them. The ones where I did sort of make up were Hawks Oxalotl, obviously.
Yeah, that was
I don't think Doctor Strange actually has a rabbit, but that was when my son said, "Well, if Doctor Strange is a magician, he should have a rabbit," which
yeah,
totally makes sense. So
yeah,
there's a few in there that I had to make up. Mark, obviously, I made up him, the pigeon.
yeah, I like Vision. Yeah,
um, yeah, a few that were in there and a few that I made up.
yeah. So are there any interesting memorable experiences that um happened in your life that you decide to sort of in like slip into the book?
I think there have been times where I've gone to go get pizza and they've been out of pizza. So I'm sure that's where that came from. I have two young boys that do not like doing their chores whatsoever. I don't know if you can relate to that at all.
I do,
But I
I
try
do.
to tell them that, yes, I try to tell them that even though they might not enjoy doing it, it's a big help to me. Even this little responsibility of just picking stuff off the floor is a big help to me. So that's where the little help of watching pets for the Avengers became a big responsibility. So it kind of came from
Yeah.
trying to, looking at the like what I would want my boys to do if the Avengers came and wanted them to watch
Yeah, well,
pets.
Spider-Man is definitely does not want a pet sit. He wants to go to Central Park and well save the day, I guess.
Yes, yeah, yep. Yeah, and Craven at the end there, he's one of my
Mhm.
favorite Spider-Man villains. He's always has been. I just think he's just so just such a fantastic design. He's so fun to draw. So that's
Raven is the guy with the lion cape, right?
yes, yep,
Yeah.
yep.
I can't believe Spider-Man just tossed that dolphin talesman away. I mean, obviously that's where Craven was getting all his power from.
Have you read the second book yet? Have you gotten to that one yet?
Ah, no.
Okay, that the talisman does come back, and
Oh,
it became, yeah, it was one of those things where um, my publisher thought maybe there had to be a reason why the Avengers couldn't defeat Kraven and Spider-Man could, like, quite
mm,
so easily. And so that's where I kind of introduced the idea of this talisman. But I was like, it was just sort of a throwaway moment. So I like literally had him throw it away. And then it became like the most important thing for all the Spider-Man books that it did, which is really
no.
funny.
Spider-Man messed up on that one.
Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, he could have at least put it on and had greater flips.
I don't think he knew what it did at first. I think, but yeah, if you read the second book, yeah, you're gonna find out it has a lot of power.
Oh, I thought jumping was the only one.
Yep, there's more.
Yeah. My brother, who's a really big fan of comics and Marvel, he read the book and he loved it very much. Um, he even said, like, he got so excited about it. He went outside and he said that he's gonna climb the tree and he's gonna flip off into the pool and all that
Oh
stuff.
no! Well,
No,
tell him
I don't think he's ever gonna do that
don't
because
do
we have because
that.
we have palm trees and they're very hard to climb.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, just make sure he stays safe. Spider-Man has powers. Just remember, he has extraordinary powers, which is why he can do great flips. But it's good to
Yeah.
practice those things. Yeah.
hmm Um, so can you tell us about your process of writing the book?
My process of writing the book, sure. Yeah, usually I come up with sort of the story, the general idea of what the story is going to be, in this case, watching the Avengers Pets. And from there, I kind of write out a really quick script version of it, where I'm just mostly just figuring out different scenes, pacing, and dialogue, like how they're going to talk. I think that's where the sort of looking for pizza kind of came about, was from that script idea, or the ideas that happened in those scripts. And then from there, I go and I take that script and I try to draw it. And things change a lot in the drawing because I'll discover certain moments or certain things that happen that'll be that need to, you know, be sort of important to how the page flips, or how characters interact or meet with each other. Um, and then so I draw it all out. I write it all out as I'm drawing, and then I color it when it's all completed. All in all, it's a process that takes. Well, in the case of the first Spider-Man book, I wrote and drew it in probably about 4 to 5 months. Is the time it
Oh,
took me to book. Yeah,
like,
usually
and
it takes me
then
a lot longer, but that one came together very quickly.
yeah, well then that's a good thing because I mean, it's almost as if like Spider-Man flipped off the page.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yep, yeah. It's funny. Flipping became a very central theme to all the Spider-Man books. So I had to actually do some research. I had to go online and look at people doing sort of parkour and flipping and things like that. And I drew like a bunch of drawings of Spider-Man flipping and stuff that just so when I had to come to draw him doing that in the book, it
It
wasn't
would
so
be
difficult
easier.
because I'd already practiced drawing those things.
Mm-hmm. So did your sons enjoy the book or did they help you during the
Yeah, they did enjoy it. And yeah, they did. They helped a little bit in the way that they got to read it before everybody else did. They got to read it in its rough form before it was completely finished. So the things that they laughed at, the things they really maybe didn't understand quite as much,
Yeah,
I
almost
was
like
able
they
to
were
use
your
that.
critique group.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they were something to help guide how well the story was sort of developing.
Yeah. How old are they?
My one son is 8 years old, and my other is 12.
Oh, I'm sort of in the middle of that. I'm 9.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. So that, yeah, right age group for it.
So how long did it take to get be finished with the publishing process?
The book was finished. I think I think it took about a year for the book to come out from the point I finished it. Now, yeah, if I'm trying to remember correctly, I think I finished it one summer and it came out the very next summer. And that's usually with publishing. You finish a book well in advance. I think I was um, working on the second one by the time the first one came out. If I can
Well,
remember.
that's actually really
Hard to
fast.
remember.
Yeah, yeah, it's actually really fast because there are some authors who I've interviewed where it takes much, much longer for them.
Yeah, sometimes it can.
Like
Yeah, the book.
sometimes it can take 2 to 3 years or maybe even 4 to 5 years.
Oh wow, yeah, well, that'd be a long time to wait for your book to come out. I don't know if I'd have that patience. The book I'm working on right now is it's been taking me a long time. I started it before I started the Spider-Man books, and I'm still working on it
Ooh, what
now.
is it like? What is it about?
It is a large kind of treasure hunt fantasy graphic novel.
Oh, I love treasure hunts.
It's about a trio of kids that go off looking for treasure in this sort of fantasy world that I've developed. So it's a lot of world building, which is part of the reason it's taken a long time to
Yeah.
create because I can't just draw from life. I gotta make up a lot of things, and so just developing all those ideas and making sure the story is still fun.
Yeah. One time I tried creating a world on a scrap piece of paper that I had because I was bored, and I don't even remember what it was called, and I don't think that was a very good world because I did it when I was like much younger.
It
Because
might it might be a great world to revisit sometime. There's always something snippets in there, even if it's like the whole thing, it's not something you might not want to keep. There might be little ideas in there that kind of spark other worlds and other creations that you want. And usually that's the
so
best way to come up with worlds is just by drawing them on scrap pieces of paper. So you did the
yeah.
right thing.
So about your book, did you finish it or is it out?
The new one I'm working on, no, I'm only at the very beginning of drawing it. So the entire book is sort of in its rough stage. So it's written, it's in its rough sort of penciled stage. So I'm in the middle of just making that all look a lot prettier. And that's usually the lengthiest process for me when it comes to making a comic is the writing and the coming up with the ideas doesn't quite take as long as the actual drawing of it. So that's what I'm doing. I'll be spending the bulk of this year just working on that one book.
Mm-hmm. So what message or theme do you hope readers learn from this book?
I hope they just like what I was sort of teaching my boys that those small responsibilities can be a big help to other people, and so always just do your best work, give your 100%, to everything you do, even if you think it's not that important.
Yeah, there are a lot of things that I think are not important that I have to do.
Yeah, and they might be important to other people, which is why it's good to do your best work for it. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you could give one piece of advice to kids who want to become authors or just authors in general, what would it be?
Oh, that's a great question. I think there's a lot of advice I could give. I think the one I'll give today is to always sort of sort of trust your instincts. Don't be afraid to uh, draw the things that you love and write the things that you love, and don't try to draw things that you think other people might enjoy as much as what you want to enjoy. Because if it's coming from yourself, other people are gonna are going
I
to enjoy
understand
that.
that.
You're gonna enjoy drawing them even more. So yeah, just draw from life, draw from your own experiences, write from those things, write from the heart.
Mm-hmm.
And those stories will really, I think, really resonate with other readers.
Mm-hmm. So if you could travel back in time and give yourself one piece of advice, what would it be?
Oh wow. I'd probably give myself that same advice. That would be good advice probably for me.
Yeah.
I would probably tell myself to make sure to, in terms of drawing from life, to actually literally do that more, is to look at things, tell myself to always study different things and listen to other people, and draw those things, instead of always sort of drawing just from comics or just from TV or just from video games, but actually get out there, enjoy life, watch other people, and try to really draw those things and
Yeah.
practice those things.
One time I saw a lawnmower and I tried to draw it, but that did not go well.
Oh man, lawnmowers are hard. I've had to draw a lawnmower before. They're not
You
easy
had
to
to.
draw. Yes. Well, the thing with drawing comics is you never know what you're going to have to draw. You never know what the story is going to need. And so the more you know how to draw everything, the easier the job is of making comics.
Yeah, well, if I could say a good piece of good advice is that drawing is hard.
Yes.
But again, like practice makes perfect.
Yes, I always that's another advice I would give, is to make sure you draw every single day if that's something you want to do eventually. I always say just 7 minutes a day, just a little bit, but getting that habit of it's something you just kind of have to do, like eating or sleeping, or just
Or like
anything.
breathing.
Yeah, and yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
this is breathing.
Any just getting a
Yeah.
habit of drawing all the time.
So what do you enjoy doing for fun?
I think one of my things I love to do more than anything else is traveling. I love to visit new locations and new places. Sometimes that happens in a book or on TV or in a video game. But I more often love doing that in real life. I love being able to just get outdoors. I like visiting different cultures, and just experiencing some place I've never been before.
Yeah, that sounds lovely. And I see a guitar back there. Do you play guitar?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I play guitar in terms of, I'm not very skilled in it. I'm not in a band, but I've had that guitar for years, and I will just pick it up, and just strum away at it, as I sort of process, something I've written or something that I've drawn, or trying to look at something in a different way. So it's more of a thinking musical instrument than an actual professional musical instrument for me.
Yeah, that sounds nice. Everyone uses music for their own things. One time I read a book about this girl who used her headphones because her siblings all the time squabbled.
Oh, yeah, that's the perfect use of headphones right there.
Yeah. So thank you so much for your time. I really enjoyed the interview we had today. So I can't wait to read your next book, well, whenever it comes out. I'll just look up your name.
Okay.
And yeah.